Televizorda izleme için kanalımıza mutlaka
and her
abone olun.
boyfriend, 20-year-old waiter George Chantarasaka, are suing George's former lover, 19-year-old tutor Saram Muth, for breaking into their home and stealing property.
Pronounce your last name for me.
Chantarasaka.
Chantarasaka. What's your first name?
George.
George. Do you mind?
No.
According to your complaint, this young lady is George's former girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend.
Former, that's former.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
And it is your claim that she broke into the apartment that you now share with George.
Yes.
Broke the door to your bedroom, vandalized the room, and took some of your property. Your defense is that it's your apartment, and you have the right to go into your apartment because you're on the lease.
Yes.
And you did take some of her property, but that was a mistake.
Yes, I did.
But that you gave it back to her.
Yes, I did.
When did you break up with George?
We broke up a week before I left, which was about May 24th.
And when did you come back to the apartment on the incident that Miss Lopez is complaining about?
A week after June 11th.
And when did you move into the apartment, Miss Lopez?
I think the last week of May.
And you moved in with George?
Yes.
So now he's your boyfriend?
He's been my boyfriend. We broke up for about a month, and that's when he got with her.
So you went from her to her, back to her, is that right? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
You must have some secret something, George, and if you do, it's got to be a good secret, because I don't see it. Now, you came back June 18th. Tell me why you came into the apartment. What were you looking for?
I came back to the apartment to drop off his wallet because he left it in my cousin's car. And I was there to pick up some of my stuff and take it back to California with me. Little did I know, my door was locked. So out of anger, I broke my door knob.
The door that you had that you say was locked, is that a door to a bedroom that you had shared with George?
Yes.
So it was George's bedroom as well?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I broke off the doorknob, went in, took my stuff, and I also took her stuff out of anger.
And where did you put them when you took them?
I actually took it with me to California, but then I realized my stupidity, and I brought it back the next day.
You're lying.
Just a second, did you get it back?
No, I didn't get any of my stuff back.
Show me that you brought it back and gave it to her.
I have a witness who can't come in because she's a minor.
Well, then if you have a witness that I can't question, then you have no witness.
You're right, I don't. But I did bring it back. Why would she wait for a month to file a report saying that I stole her stuff?
I called you and I told you that I wanted my things
Listen,
back.
Miss Lopez, don't speak to her. Speak to me.
Okay.
Did you get your property back?
No, I didn't.
Okay. You have a bill for the replacement of the doorknob?
No, I don't.
No, I don't know.
But this is the doorknob. This is how it looks when she broke it off.
I don't need the doorknob, madam. She says she broke the doorknob. I need what it's going to cost to fix it.
Well, we don't have the bill.
You have a list of items that she took out of your room?
I have a police report.
Well, you originally told the police, madam, that all the stuff that was taken was original value and current value were the same, $900. Why are you suing her now for $4,500?
Because my things are actually worth more than $900 at
You
the
mean
time.
they increased in value since you filed the police report?
No, I didn't.
Listen to me. If you file a police report and they ask you what the value is and you gave them their original value and the current value, I assume that when you filed that police report you were trying to be as accurate as possible. Is that right?
Yes, but at the time I wasn't really thinking because I was really...
Now you're thinking? Is what you're telling me now you're thinking? Heaven help me. You have no right to take up property and you have no proof that you returned it. I have no idea how much it's going to cost to fix the doorknob because you don't bring me a bill.
And she broke my video camera too.
You have a bill to have it fixed?
No, I don't.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm not a mind reader.
Your Honor, I did not break his video camera.
I'm not considering the video camera because people have to know that when they come to court, they have to be prepared. They have to be prepared with documents. They have to be prepared with receipts. They have to be prepared.
But
I'm speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They have to be prepared with an estimate of what it's going to cost to fix property if there's an allegation of damage. And if you don't have that, the judge isn't going to get it for you.
Your
George,
Honor?
you got it?
Yes, yes.
Good. As far as you're concerned, You made this report soon after the incident occurred. You told the police what happened. You told the police what your property was worth. You told them at that time that it was worth $900, which is probably a stretch. Certainly that stretch isn't going to be stretched into $4,500. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Ms. Chan, parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Newsom, it is your claim that owing to the defendant's negligence, your dog ran away. I assume this is the dog. As a result of that, you found the dog in pound. You had vet bills, pound costs, etc. Ms. Chan says that you were a squatter on her property. You were not a tenant there, that the dog was left in her backyard. She opened the gate to leave. Your dog ran out. She had absolutely no obligation to go chasing after your dog. And in addition, she says that while you were a squatter there, you hit her house with your truck. You caused damage to her home. She wants you to pay for that. Ms. Newsom, do you own this house?
I own the house.
How many apartments do you have in the house?
3 houses over there, triplex.
3 houses?
Right, triplex.
And Mr. Newsom, he is not a tenant of yours, is
No,
that right?
not at all.
Is that
Not
right,
at all.
sir?
Yeah, I didn't live there.
Did you park your truck there at her house?
I visited my friend Mario on the weekends because I lived in LA at the time, and then I was working in Yorba Linda, so I stayed in Yorba Linda during the week, and I come in town on the weekends and stay with him on the weekends.
So you were staying there with your truck?
Yes, on weekends.
For how long?
I don't know, a month and a half or something, I forget now. He was, until Mario moved out. I don't remember, I wasn't paying attention.
Well, let's try to pay attention and get specific. What month did you start to come in to visit Mario?
It would have been November 2003 through December of 2003.
And when did your dog disappear?
I guess, from what I understand, it was 4 days before I came to pick him up, which would have been on the 15th of October, I guess. I realized he had disappeared on the 19th when I came to pick him up.
You said you stayed there from November of 2003 till December of 2003.
That's right.
Your dog disappeared in October. That doesn't make sense.
That's right, because I wasn't staying there when my dog was being watched there. I went to Oregon to visit a friend and his mother who was dying. When I came back is when I, at that point, started staying there. And he was watching my dog for me while I was gone in Oregon.
How long did you leave your dog there?
I don't know, I think 10 days it was.
What's your name, Mario?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up. Mr. Carmona, where was Mr. Newsom staying when he stayed in your house?
He would either stay upstairs, sleep on the floor upstairs, or because I had my aunt, my brother, and his girlfriend at the time, he didn't want to be a further inconvenience. So he said just lend him a couple blankets and he'd go ahead and just sleep in his bed of his truck for the night. I'd tell him to go upstairs and sleep in the...
And in what month did he come to stay with you?
But he didn't live, like you said, he would come over and visit on the weekends, but that started around November, about November.
All right. Now, when he left in October, he says he left his dog with you. Did he leave his dog with you?
Yes, he asked me if I could keep an eye on his dog while he went to go take care of some business that he had to take care of up in Oregon, I believe it was.
So, did you take care of his dog?
Yes, he left all the food that he needed. He left it upstairs with me.
How did the dog get away?
That is a good question. There was an incident where the dog was running around loose prior to Mr. Newsom leaving to Oregon. I had to call him because I couldn't put the dog back on his leash, on his runner.
Why not?
He wouldn't listen to me. I called Mr. Newsom. He had to drive back an hour. He put him back on the leash, and I informed everybody in my house, don't let him off the runner. He had plenty of rope, plenty of chains so he could run around.
So you left him in the backyard?
He had a big backyard to run around.
You left him in the backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he come into the house in the evening?
No.
So you left him in the backyard all the time?
Yes.
Was this backyard solely for you and the 2 other people on the lease, or was it for a lot of other people?
It was a shared backyard.
Well, what gives you the right to put the dog in the backyard?
None, but I did ask Ms. Chan that I was going to be keeping an eye on the dog. There was a doghouse in the back because there was already a dog
When
back
did
there.
you ask Ms. Chan if you could
Before
keep the dog?
Mr. Newsom left for Oregon,
Did he,
I asked her.
Ms. Chan?
No.
Of course not.
Yes, I did.
No, I don't believe you.
Okay.
Don't believe you, sir.
No.
If you had a dog that you couldn't control and there were other tenants using that backyard, it is unlikely that a landlord whose insurance is responsible would say, sure, keep a dog that's uncontrollable in the backyard so my other tenants are going to have trouble. Unlikely.
Ma'am.
All right. Do you know how the dog got away?
No, ma'am. All I know is when I left to work that morning, the dog was on the leash. When I came home, It wasn't on the leash. I spoke to Ms. Chan, asked what happened.
And what did she say?
She said she had opened up the gate to give both dogs because the other
Dostlar,
tenants
video
that lived
burada
on the
dayandı.
property
Çünkü
had a
siz hele
pit bull
kanalımıza
that,
abone
if Ms.
olmamışsınız.
Chan may remember
Kanalımıza
correctly, the
abone
first day
olan
that I went
kimi
over there to
video
look at the
yeniden
apartment,
devam edecek. Nöbeti isteniz izlemek için kanalımıza
I
abone
asked
olun.
what happened to the dog.
And she said
that she let the dogs out to play and she opened up the gate so they could run around and they never came back.
What happened, Miss Chan?
No, because I went out. I park in my car in the backyard. When I go out, I go to get my car and I gotta go. So I opened my gate, I went, and the dog went too. They both went together. One is female, one's male.
So they were not on a leash?
No.
They were not on the lead?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
And you didn't go after them?
No.
Right. I wouldn't go after them.
It's not my dog. Why should I go after them?
Absolutely right. What else do you want to tell me?
I would like to tell you that Mrs. Chan was totally comfortable with my dog being there. And once I come back from Oregon and found my dog, took him to the vet, took care of all that, and I still continued to come on weekends and visit. She had no problem with me helping her property. Her property was in a pretty bad state of...
what does that have to do with your dog?
It's got to do with the fact that she was comfortable with me being there when I was helping her out on her property. She was, before her denying that my dog was allowed to be there, she had no problem with my dog being there.
Just a second. You're not following, sir. She has no duty to run after your dog.
But she has the duty, if she says it's okay for my dog to be in that yard, to allow it to be there while it's there.
Listen to me, sir. She has no duty to run after your dog.
You're right. Unless she let him off his leash.
She says she didn't.
Of course she did. She's not going to admit to it now that I've got a $500 bill in front of her. Yeah, I guess not. She was pretty sure I wasn't going to sue her either. But the problem we have here is...
Listen, Slick, take care of your own dogs. If you have to go to Oregon, take your dog with you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Madam, I can't tell what happened with this house. The house looks like it's in deplorable condition.
The whole property is.
That's why
listen to me. I'm speaking. I don't need you to help me.
You're right.
And later today...
He was incarcerated for 2 years. Then he became uncontrollable again, and he was getting physical with me, pushing me around, and he was getting really out of hand.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Newsom says his friend's ex-landlord, Lai Chan, allowed his dog to run away. Lai says James is homeless and he was squatting on her property.
Listen to me. I want to know if when you were going into her house, you banged into her house.
I never went in her house, and I did not hit her house.
Okay. When do you say he hit your house with his truck?
During the time he stayed in my backyard, and at night, because it's dark, he said he can't see it. He hit it, and the next morning I asked him to...
What date?
I don't have the date.
Well, why did you wait so long?
Because he's homeless.
Because
I don't know where he is.
No, it's because she countered her suit after she received mine. Of course.
Probably true.
I went over there the other day after I found out she was suing me and took pictures of the only place you could possibly hit her house. And the house doesn't show that, I mean, the house is just in bad shape altogether, but I don't know how you could say if I hit it or I didn't hit it. I mean, it's just in bad shape. Although I did re-roof one of her houses that I have another suit against her for because she refused to pay for that. And I have pictures of the fact that the house she lives in has got a roof blowing off and a house next to it that's hers, I did the roof on, and I have not been paid for that.
What?
This is an estimate.
Madam, I can't tell what happened with this house. The house looks like it's in deplorable condition.
The whole property is.
That's why
listen to me. I'm speaking. I don't need you to help me.
You're right.
The house is in deplorable condition. I can't tell what he hit and what he didn't. He just said he didn't hit your house. You're not responsible for his dog. He's not responsible for your house.
You know what?
Mario moved out?
Yeah,
Mario
gone.
Moved out?
Gone.
Good. Goodbye. Have a happy life.
And I knew you'd do that. That's all right, though.
Good.
That's all right.
Excuse. Step out, please.
You're exactly what I thought you'd be. Come on, Hood. Let's go. That's why I should never come to this court. I knew she'd do that. All I know is he wasn't there when I came back from Oregon, and nobody told me nothing.
He lied in the court. He's been staying there for at least 4 or 5 months.
I came in, I asked Mario. He just pointed and said, go talk to Miss Chan. He didn't want to tell me a word.
I tell him, that's your responsibility. Don't put me on.
I went and talked to her. She goes, I don't know nothing. I know nothing.
I don't want to help nobody no more. Once enough. And they put me on the court? No.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hammond versus Hemstreet. Step forward.
16-year-old Robert Hammond III and his dad, Robert Jr., are suing Robert's mother, property manager Carolyn Hemstreet, for taking back a truck she gave to Robert for his 16th birthday. Carolyn claims the vehicle was never a gift.
Mr. Hammond, this is your former wife and your son that two of you share. According to what I read in your complaint, since your divorce, your son has spent time with both his mother and with you.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And sometime last year, when your son was living with his mother, he turned 16, according to your son, his mother gave him a truck. Is that right, sir?
Yeah, that was actually earlier this year.
Oh. That is right, Your Honor.
When did you turn 16?
June 20th of 2004.
And when did your mother give you the truck?
Well, I started driving the truck when I was about 15 and a half. When I got my driver's permit, she started letting me drive it with her and then with other adults just to learn how to drive the vehicle. She basically physically gave me the truck. On my 16th birthday, she was like, oh, happy birthday. This is your truck. Do what you want with it.
And that was June 20th of 2004.
That's correct.
When did you go to live with your father?
I moved in with my father September 4th of 2004.
Now, from June 20th, 2004 until September 4th, 2004, when you lived with your mom, did you drive the truck every day?
Yes.
Did your mother drive the truck?
Very rarely, because she has like 4 other vehicles. She has a brand new Dodge Ram.
Who else lived in your home with your mother?
It was just me, my mother, and my stepdad.
Now, when you went to live with your father on September 4th, you took the truck with you?
Yes.
And when did your mother take it back?
I think it was approximately September 27th.
Tell me about that.
Well, basically, I was living with my mom for a while, and then she started getting really frustrated because she was trying to buy a new house, and she got really stressed out, and she was like, you know, oh, maybe you should move in with your dad, this and that. So I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I'll look at it. So I ended up starting to talk to my dad, and I was talking to my different aunts. They were saying, yeah, you know, at this point in your life, you know, it's better to live with your father. But basically, you know, I was just really stressed out trying to deal with my senior year and then having my mom, you know, stressing me out because I wasn't able to work, and like I wasn't able to rely on her to give me money.
So you went to live with your father.
Yeah.
September 27th, she took the truck back. My question was, tell me about her taking the truck back.
Oh, basically, she came up to my school September 27th, and she came with the pink slip and everything because the truck was still in her name since I was under her custody. And she was like, so, do you want to give me the truck back? And I was like, no, because it's not really your truck.
When had she asked you for the truck before September 27th?
A few days before that, she had came over to my grandma's.
Tell me about it.
Okay, well, I was over at my grandma's. It was about September 25th.
Don't play with your paper, madam.
Yes. And she came over requesting the truck, and I was just in the middle of, like, helping out my grandma doing some work for her. Mom was just like, oh, give me back your truck, this and that. And she tried to, like, physically take it from me. I refused to give her the key.
Was that the first time she had asked you for the truck?
No, I think she had asked me on the phone once before that, but then I thought she had dropped it because I was just like...
Well, what did she say on the phone?
I don't remember her exact words, but basically she was like, oh, if you want to live with your dad, basically you need to pay for the truck. She was like, you can pay me in payments. She was just basically saying, oh, you need to pay me $5,000 for the vehicle.
And what did you say?
I said, that's not really realistic because the truck was given to me as a gift. Therefore, I invested money in it, and I didn't think I would have to pay you back for the truck that was already given to me. So I was like, no, I'm not going to pay you for a truck that you supposedly gave to me.
From June of 2004, when you got the truck, until September, when you moved in with your father, had your mother ever made any statement to you that would indicate that she expected you to pay her for the truck?
No.
Never?
Never.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Robert Hammond III says his mother, Carolyn Hemstreet, took back a truck she gave him for his 16th birthday.
Now, when you moved in with your father in September, you made some modifications to the truck and you did some work on it?
Oh, no, I made the modifications while I was living with my mother. She had encouraged me to do the modifications because the truck, it was like a pink truck. And basically, you know, I didn't feel comfortable driving around with a pink truck, you know what I mean?
You mean pink in color?
Yeah.
Okay, so you painted it and did whatever else?
Had it lower, it had rims put on it, you know.
I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I allowed my son to use the truck because we lived 8 miles south of town.
Did you ever say to him on his birthday, here's the truck?
No, I said, you're authorized to use the truck now that you have a license, because he was cited for driving the vehicle without a license, and he was speeding also.
So you're telling me on his birthday you said to him, you can now use the truck?
Well,
is that what you're telling me?
Well, he was using the truck against my better wishes prior to his 20th birthday.
16th birthday.
His 16th birthday. Well, he acts like a 20-year-old, excuse me.
Were you in favor of him moving in with his father?
No, Your Honor, I wasn't.
Why not?
Well, Robert had just recently been released from a group home where he was incarcerated for 2 years, and he had been with me approximately 3 or 4 months, and then he became uncontrollable again, and he was getting physical with me, pushing me around, and we were verbally assaulting each other, you know, cussing each other out, and he was getting really out of hand. But
what kind of work do you do, Mr. Hammond?
I work for the state of California. I'm an insurance claims representative.
Does your judgment of divorce provide for custody for your son?
Yes, I do have sole physical custody.
In the judgment of divorce?
Yes.
Is there an order of support?
Yes.
Your former wife is supposed to pay support for him?
Yes, there's several $1,000s in arrears that she has not paid.
Why is that?
Well, Your Honor, at the time, I've been disabled for approximately 16 years since Robert was an infant. And at the time...
What's the nature of your disability?
I'm a bipolar. I stressed out as a result of job-related stress working with the Sheriff's Department at a prison.
Has the order of support ever been lifted?
Yes, Your Honor. There was a time when I had sole physical custody of my Robert, which was just prior to him being with his father. And also, I owed his father child support, and he was also paying me child support.
How much do you owe him in child support?
Approximately, I figure I owe him about $15,000 in child support.
Do you have other children?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How many?
I have 2.
How old are they?
10 and 11.
Your disability didn't prevent you from having other children?
No, sir. I had the children shortly after I became disabled.
Can I see the pink slip for the truck, please?
Well, Your Honor, I don't physically have the pink slip because I did sell the vehicle. I sold it to an auto dealer for $1,800, which was below the Blue Book value.
Let me see.
This is a statement for the sales, and then also...
Very silly lady, Miss Hemstreet.
Well, sir...
You are a very, very silly lady, madam.
Okay.
I don't believe this. That's not the way a dealership, whether it's a used car dealership or anything else, prepares a bill of sale. They put a VIN number on there, they put plate numbers on there. I don't buy this. This does not look, to me, like the kind of receipt somebody gives when they purchase a car if they're a corporation.
That is correct. I agree with you.
Well, okay. How much did you spend on the car?
A little bit over $2,000.
Miss Hemstreet, you are a very foolish woman. You have a son who's 16 years old, who maybe is putting his life back in order, maybe, maybe not. At least he appears to be getting along reasonably well with his father. It is clear to me that you at least led him to believe that this car was his on his 16th birthday, that he invested some money into it, into making it his, giving it lack of a pink tone, a more masculine tone, and doing whatever else he did with it. You owe $15,000 in child support. According to you, you sold this truck, if I believed you, for $1,800. Your relationship with your son is not worth $1,800.
No, but I felt compelled to do so because my son almost killed us in a truck once by stopping in traffic. And recently he was involved in another accident, a rear-ended. And so I felt like I didn't want to give my son a vehicle that might ultimately end his life.
You gave it to him already.
I gave it to him to use, Your Honor. But Robert, physically, he was aggressive, and he took the truck from me, him and his father.
No, you told me that you gave it to him. You said you gave it to him and told him.
I gave it to him to use because of where we lived.
Listen to me. She says she sold the truck for $1,800. I can't tell you whether she sold it for $1,800 or not. I don't think that she would know the truth if it came up and slapped her in the face. In any event, that's what she says, and I think that she had no right to sell a truck that she gave to you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,800. That's all.
Thank you.
Judge Johnson versus Ishmael. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Bird, I'd like you to do me a favor. Since there is a potential for there being some serious yelling there by me, you can take these 2 children and see whether they amuse themselves elsewhere.
Gotcha. Come this way.
Miss Johnson, according to the complaint that I've read, you rented a house.
An apartment unit.
Or an apartment unit in a little complex.
Yes.
Where the defendant also lived.
Yes.
The owner of that apartment unit is her mother.
Yes.
You, according to you, have the right to use the driveway because the driveway can only accommodate 1 car, and if a second car is pulled behind your car, you can't get out.
Yes.
So far, is that right?
Yes.
That the unit is rented to the plaintiff. She has the right to use the driveway.
I don't know what agreement they had.
Do you have an agreement?
Yes, I do have
I'd like
an agreement.
to see it, please.
That the agreement, the landlord gave her a copy of this. She has a
I'd
copy
like to
of
see
that.
it, please. So this is an agreement by your mother, who's
Dostlar,
the owner of the
video burada
property.
dayandı.
The
Çünkü
owner
siz
of the
hele
property
kanalımıza abone
gives
olmamışsınız.
exclusive use
Kanalımıza
of the
abone olan
driveway
kimi video yeniden
to
devam
Miss
edecek.
Johnson.
Nöbeti isteni izlemek için kanalımıza abone olun.
In any event, you are bound by it.
Okay, can I ask you a question? If I don't know anything about it, how am I bound by it? Because I have no copy of that, no knowledge.
Listen to me. I find that you knew that you were not supposed to use the driveway. The drive... Don't speak.
Okay.
Just listen.
Okay.
I find that because even in your answer to her complaint, you say, I only left my car there for a minute while I was dropping off groceries. So you knew very well, because unless you don't speak to your mother,
correct,
And if you didn't speak to your mother, she wouldn't let you live there. So I find that you knew exactly what is contained in this letter of agreement. You can say no from today till tomorrow. My job is to figure out who's telling the truth. And you don't want me to label you a liar before we even start, right?
Right. But
good. So I suggest you keep your mouth shut until I get to you.
No problem.
Were those your children?
Correct.
Which is why I put them out. According to your complaint, there have been ongoing problems with the defendant with regard to parking behind your car.
Yes.
When did they start?
It started in April of this year.
What happened this year that made this problem occur?
Well, when the contract was originally written in December, Adrian at the time was not included nor excluded because at the time she lived in the front house. She didn't have a car at the time, but when she had a car years ago, she parked her car in front of the house. So April 2005, she pulled her car up behind me and blocked me, and I have pictures.
When did she get a car?
I didn't even know that was her car. When I called her mother and said I'm blocked in, and she asked me to describe the car, she said, oh, that's Adrian's car. So I saw that same car parked on the curb, like in the street. I thought it was abandoned because it doesn't have a license plate on it and there's no VIN number.
I see the pictures.
So I had no idea that that was even her car. Her mother had to tell me it was her car, so I don't know. This is a picture of her car.
Prior to that, there had been no difficulty because she did, according to you, either didn't have a car, or if she did, it was parked in the front of the house.
That's correct. At the time, we were just not on speaking terms. But there were no problems with her parking the car back there because she always parked in the front.
Any reason why you weren't on speaking terms with her?
We've never gotten along since childhood, and
so you know each other for a long time.
Exactly. Our personalities are just very different. You know, we keep very different friends, and her ways have made me decide that she's not a person that I want to even hang around with.
Okay, so the first time was in April.
In April.
When was the next time?
The next time was on April 15th. She blocked me in for about 4 hours. I called the Department of Transportation and the police, and they called me on the phone to find out 4 hours later if the car had been moved, and by that time she had driven off. The next time she blocked me in was on May 20th. She blocked me in for about an hour.
Did you ring her bell? Did you try to call her?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely did. I always, you know, I holler, because our door, the way my door sits, is her backyard is my front yard. So I call her, or I have my daughter go knock on the door. I don't have her phone number, and she wouldn't let me out. She'd be like, I'll move my car whenever I want to. So on the 29th, when she blocked me in, her mother was out of town, and I was getting ready to go to work. She pulled up behind me, blocked me in. So I said, Adrian, you need to be quiet. I have to go to work. I'll move whenever I want to move. So she walked into the house, and I'm like, no, what am I going to do? The police called me 4 hours later. They never showed up. So I figured the best way to get her to move her car is to make her feel like a caged rat. I closed the gate, here's a picture of the gate. I closed the gate and locked it. Immediately, she came running outside. Instead of coming to my door and saying, I'm ready to move my car now, she bagged up and rammed the gate and ran it down. I called her mother and said, Annie, I called the police. They came within 30 minutes. I said, Annie Mae, Adrian ran your gate down because I locked her in because she would not move her car so I can go to work. And they came out. Here's the police report and made an incident.
Can I see it, please?
This is the police report. It's the letter. The police report. It's the letter from
All right. That's May 29th. Let me look at the police report.
Okay.
Her mother signed this report.
That's correct.
Okay, so your mother signed this report against you.
Yeah, because they said I couldn't make the report. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So after that, on June 6th, I was coming home from work, 7:30 in the morning, hear a car pull up, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Adrian. I have to leave out here in an hour to go to my exercise class. So I hollered out the window, you better move your MF car. And she ain't moving nothing, you know. So she went on the house, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Because I'm not going to miss I lost 60 pounds, I'm exercising, I'm not going to miss my class. So I decided the best way to move her car was to bag it out. And I bagged her car out into the street where it turned into the curb. She got upset, came out of the house. Oh, you done did it now, you B.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You are lying to me because any sensible person...
But you don't know me to say that.
Whoa, I know you. No. I know exactly who you are. Get your hand off your hip. There's only one attitude here. That's mine.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lynette Johnson says her cousin, Adrian Ishmael, damaged her car and her driveway gate. Adrian says Lynette pushed her car into the middle of the street.
So you pushed her car out?
I did.
With your car?
With my car. And so she got upset. I saw her, she jumped in her car, got her key, she came around, and I saw her coming, so I quickly closed the gate, I locked it, and she rammed the gate into my car. And that's where I have the damages right here.
Can I see it?
And her landlord kept telling her, you don't have any business there. The police come out, here's the police report. You have no business being there. You can't explain why you're there.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
Okay, first of all, that's a total lie.
Let's start with 2 days that I'm interested in.
Okay.
The first one is May 29th, when your mother signed a police complaint against you.
I agree. I admitted to the vandalism. I did do that.
Okay. Why did you park your car behind her car, fully knowing that you were really rendering her unable to move because your car was there?
Because that's not the truth. First of all, can I explain my story? I usually do park in the front of my house. I was getting my house painted. The painters messed up my front door. I couldn't gain access to my house through the front anymore. So I had to go through the back door to gain access to the house. That's the only reason I was parking in the driveway.
Just a second. Let me understand this, Miss Ishmael. Because the painters were working on your house and you had to use the back door, you couldn't park in the front and walk to the back. You had to drive. I'm speaking. You had to drive your car there. How far is it from the front door to the back door?
But that day was right before a holiday, and I had bought a lot of groceries. I mean, a whole lot, because I was having a barbecue the next day. And the only thing I was parking in the driveway for was to unload the groceries into the house. And that was the day I rammed the gate. And Lynette is not being...
Just a second. Now let's get to June 6th. There was no holiday, no barbecue.
Right.
So what were you doing parking behind her car again?
Just unloading groceries.
You already had a major problem a week before. What were you parking there for?
Because, like I said before, I did not have a copy of any agreement. You said you don't believe me, but I have no reason to lie. I had no account of that. That agreement was not between me
Miss
and...
Ishmael, let me explain something to you, madam. Your mother signed a complaint against you.
No, she did not.
Listen to me.
Did not. That was
no. You listen to me.
Okay.
Your mother signed a complaint of vandalism on the 29th of May. And what you're asking me to believe is you had no communication with your mother.
Correct. Correct. That's the truth.
Listen to me. I don't believe you. You are lying to me because any sensible person...
But you don't know me to say that.
Whoa, I know you.
No.
I know exactly who you are. You are somebody who is a passive, aggressive person.
That's not true. That's not true. You don't know me to say
Fortunately, madam, I went to college. I went to law school. I passed the bar. I was appointed a judge 3 times.
That's great.
So I'm the only one that gets to make the decisions. When you're sitting here, you can make the decision. So I decided that when common sense suggests to me that somebody is lying, I'm willing to go with common sense. And common sense indicates to me that when you're living in a house and you know that only one car can gain egress or ingress from one space, and you choose time after time after time to block this lady's car in, that you have a passive, aggressive personality.
But
and if you are, I'm speaking. Okay. And if you are living at a premises that's owned by your mother, who happens to have your last name, and your mother is privy to an agreement between this lady and other tenants, that unless you and your mother, you're living on Saturn and your mother is living on Pluto, then your mother said to you, don't park in the driveway. Not to unload groceries, not to unload your kids, not to unload your temper, not to unload your temper.
She didn't say
I
that.
don't believe you. Can I see the estimates now?
That's why I'm saying you're not giving me a right to prove my case. That's unfair. This is not fair.
Life, madam, I want you to understand something. Life sometimes is not fair. Go ahead.
She parked my car in the middle of the street and endangering the lives of
You're absolutely right. She had no right to push your car into the street. Now I want you to show me what damage was caused to your car as a result of being pushed into the streets and the estimates for its repair.
There was no damage because I got my car out the middle of the street.
Right. There was no damage.
I'm not claiming damage. All I'm saying is that what she's accusing me of is not true because you have not given me a chance to state my case. You have not given me the equal time to...
Listen to me, madam. My time is more valuable than your baloney. What you did time after time was to block this lady's car in, and I can imagine the frustration. Everybody who drives a car who's been in a situation where they've parked a car and somebody blocks them in and says, I'm just going in for a pack of cigarettes, I'm just going in to pick up a quart of milk, I'll be out. And they say, come on, could you move your car? Get your hand off your hip. There's only one attitude here. That's mine.
I don't have an attitude. So I'm saying that because my back is hurting, ma'am.
Well, that's too bad. Try to keep your back in check until this case is over.
That's
good. Very good. And maybe it hurt from carrying all those groceries. Listen to me. Everybody who's driven a car knows what it's like when somebody behaves disrespectfully with no clue as to other people's time. That's you. Maybe if you had some more to do, you would think about other...
True.
Who do you work for?
I'm a chef at a fish market.
How many days? I'm speaking. How many days a week do you work?
I work 6 days a week.
Did you file tax returns this year?
Yes, I did.
How much did you earn on your tax returns that you filed in April?
$14,000.
You know, you're making it up as you're going along.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $827. That's all. That's to fix your car.
Judge Judy.
That's it.
What about the days when
That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Misery Love Company, and she's very upset that she couldn't pull me into the sandbox.
This didn't just start. Since she was a child, she's been crazy.
She's a jealous, envious person.
You tried living in front of a psycho. Anthony Perkins, watch out. It's a new psycho in town.
I'm very happy. Thank you, Judge Judy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Childress versus Reese. Step forward.
26-year-old Ciara Childress is suing her ex-boyfriend, Casey Reese, for kicking her car. Casey claims Ciara punched him in the mouth.
Miss Childress, Mr. Reese and you have a child together, but you are no longer in a relationship. According to your complaint, Mr. Reese vandalized your car by kicking it. Mr. Reese does not deny that he kicked your car, and he said he kicked your car instead of kicking you. Close.
Exactly.
So, when did this incident occur?
It was on May 2nd.
Where?
In front of his, he has 2 other kids. It was in front of his kid's mother's house.
So you went there?
Yes.
Had you told him you were coming?
Yes.
When?
About maybe 15 minutes earlier, I was coming to get a cell phone from him.
What happened when you got there?
He came outside, and we were arguing. We had been arguing.
Why were you arguing?
Just different things.
You want to tell me?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what happened. Ciara came over to get the phone.
Why did you have her phone?
Actually, it's my phone, but you know, she does pay the bill.
Just a minute. Why does she pay the bill?
Oh, for her to keep in touch with.
Why do you want to keep in touch with him?
Because of my son, but I don't do that anymore.
Okay. So you're coming to get the phone and you were annoyed.
Right. Because basically...
Keep going.
He doesn't do anything. I was bothered. I was trying to get my child
Dostlar,
support, different
video
issues
burada dayandı.
that I,
Çünkü siz
you know,
hele kanalımıza
not consistent,
abone olmamışsınız.
With getting my child
Kanalımıza
support.
abone olan
He
kimi
had
video yeniden
disrespected
devam
me.
edecek.
I
Nöbeti
think at
isten
that
izleme
time
için
he was speaking with
kanalımıza
somebody on the
abone olun.
phone in front of me on my phone, and I had hit him. He hit me back.
You mean on this date?
Yes.
On May 2nd, you hit him?
Yes. And he hit me back.
No, I hit your car.
He hit me back.
Well, you had no right to hit him.
You're right.
What did you expect him to do?
I don't
Just
know.
suck it up?
I guess so.
Well, you're wrong.
Apparently.
Apparently. You think you're going to hear from my mouth, you know, you're not supposed to hit a woman? Not from my mouth. You hit him, and he's allowed to defend himself. Okay, Mr. Reese, so she hit you. Where did she hit you?
In the face.
And what did you do?
See, what happened was when she hit me, she raised up the window, so I kicked the car.
We were outside.
I was outside.
We
She
were
was sitting in the
outside.
car.
How'd I hit you in the car? We were outside.
Easily,
I
the
slapped
window
him.
down.
He punched me in my arm. He ran into the house. He came back out talking about his lip something, came out, kicked in my car 3 times.
What do you mean talking about his lip?
His lip, apparently, I hit him in the mouth. Apparently his lip was whatever. I had a bruise on my arm.
I don't care about your arm.
Okay.
I don't care about your arm. Okay. I care about your lip. Was your lip bleeding?
Yes.
Because it wasn't a slap, because he must have punched you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
And let me see the damage to your car.
I did not punch him. I slapped him.
Well, you may have slapped him, but you slapped
really
him hard
wanted
enough
to.
to
We should-
make his lip bloody. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Where were you when he kicked the car?
I was inside my vehicle calling the police.
Why were you calling the police if you assaulted him?
He punched me back. Does that make 2 wrongs make a right? He punched me back and kicked in my vehicle.
But this makes me feel better. You have no right to put your hands on somebody else. And if by putting your hands on Mr. Reese, his reaction was to kick your car, which is really what you're saying, right?
After he punched me.
And I'm telling you, A, I don't believe he punched you, and B, if he did, you took a picture of your car, not your bruised arm. So evidently this was more important to you than your bruised arm.
Actually, it wasn't, because I went and got a restraining order the next day against him, so it couldn't have been.
Well, I want to tell you something. I wouldn't have given you a restraining order.
Related.
If I were the judge sitting there, I wouldn't have given you a restraining order. I would have showed you the door. You started it. You started it. You started the problem. First, you wanted to control him by giving him a cell phone so you could keep in touch with him over your son, which is a lot of baloney. And second, you put your hands on him because you went over there, and you went over there annoyed. You went over there looking for a fight. You got a fight, and you ended up with a dented car. Pay for it. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Felicia versus Cass.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Felicia, the defendant was your landlady for approximately 6 months, and according to your complaint, she had you falsely arrested for both assault and menacing in September 2007. So you want to be compensated for your bail and the time you spent in jail. Ms. Cass says that you were, in fact, high on drugs, that she had every right to call the police because you behaved in a threatening manner, which she will describe to me. Describe this arrangement. Was it a house, an apartment building?
She lived in a trailer, and I had just gotten a position at a Key Largo elementary school as a commercial electrician, and I needed somewhere to stay. So she rented me her screened-in porch for $400 a month.
On what date did you move into Miss Cass's screened-in porch?
Around January of 07.
How did you find the screened-in porch?
She had an ad in the paper for $400 a month.
What did the ad say, if you remember?
I think it said room for rent, $400.
Did it have a bathroom?
I had privileges to the kitchen and the bathroom inside the trailer, so I would sleep outside in the screened-in porch, and whenever I needed to use the utilities, I would go inside, no problem.
And there was one bathroom in the trailer?
Yes, there was.
Who else lived in the trailer?
Her by herself and her 3 dogs.
How do you support yourself, Miss Cass?
I have a pet sitting business called Precious Care Pet Sitting.
You mean you take care of them in your trailer?
No, I go to people's houses when they go out of town and take care of their pets.
That pays the bills?
Well, once in a while I had to add a roommate to help, but during the summertime it's slow, so I needed a roommate to help pay the bills.
So why don't you tell me, Miss Cass, how it came about that you had the plaintiff arrested?
Okay, Friday he came home and he was really happy that he didn't use any cocaine because he was starting a new job on Tuesday.
Let's start again. Friday was what date?
It was the Labor Day weekend, the Friday of Labor Day weekend. I'm thinking September 1st.
Of 07?
Yes, ma'am.
He came home and told you?
He didn't use cocaine. He was at a party and he was all excited because he was supposed to start a new job on Tuesday. He was unemployed. On Saturday, I woke up, he was gone. I didn't really keep track of where he was coming and going, and I get a call at 10 o'clock at night. He's all jacked up, stating that he found a real house, and he was really excited that he was moving out and not to be mad at him, that he'd be by later to get his things.
Had he ever used drugs when he lived in your house?
Not that I was aware of, Your Honor.
Okay. Did he come by that day?
Yes, ma'am. He came by at 3 o'clock in the morning. He was all wild-eyed and all hyper, and he kept saying, "Don't be mad at me, Mommy. Don't be mad at me, Mommy." But I got a real house with a bathroom, and he was all excited. And I said, "No problem. I don't mind." And I asked if he did use drugs, and he admitted it. And I also have it in the deposition that he took that he admitted it.
And
in the
what
deposition, this case was originally a civil case. So 3 months ago, he took a deposition and admitted that he did admit to me that he did cocaine.
I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am. And I also have his police report, his background, that he's been arrested for cocaine and trespassing
I'd
charges.
like to see the deposition first. Did you sue her?
Yes, I filed a suit for restitution, punitive damages, wage lost. I was in jail during my birthday. She put me in jail during my birthday.
And what happened with that case?
I turned it into a small claims because we couldn't come to a resolution in the civil.
Your Honor, his lawyers walked out in the middle of the deposition and made a motion to withdraw.
The lawyers withdrew from representing you?
Yes. May I add, because her lawyer was filing motions and injunctions and just making the whole thing harder than it really was.
What did you expect her to do, roll over?
Well, that's true, you know. But I just wanted her to admit that what she did was a lie.
Were you using drugs that night in September, sir?
No, not that night. Maybe the night that I left.
The night that you left?
The night that I left, yeah.
Yes.
But when I came to the property to get my property, no.
That night, the night that you left, were you using drugs?
Yes.
What kind?
Coke and marijuana.
Where'd you get it from?
One of her social friends.
One of her friends?
One of her known friends. I didn't know him.
It wasn't my friend.
I knew him through her because I didn't know nobody. I just got in town to work.
He knew from an old roommate.
Okay, so the night that you left, you came home 3 o'clock in the morning to get your stuff. Where were you going to live?
At where they offered me another place.
They offered you another apartment. Who's they?
Her mutual friend, Augusta.
So she offered you what kind of a place to live?
A room, indoors.
And you decided to take that?
Well, I decided to give her a notice that I was planning to move.
Okay, so you called her at 10 o'clock.
So look, they offered me this place. I think I'm gonna plan to move.
And then you came home at 3 o'clock.
To get his stuff.
That's what you said to me. You came home at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, when did you come home? You called her?
At night, that 10 o'clock that she's talking about. That's when she had all my stuff in the porch.
No, first you had to call her, sir. Otherwise, she wouldn't have known that you were moving, right?
Right.
So first you called her.
Yeah, I called her and told her I was planning to move. But then later on, at 3 o'clock you're talking about, I came maybe to get a toothbrush or something. But it wasn't to get my stuff and leave.
He came to get...
Okay. Shh. I don't know whether it is or whether it isn't. Whether he came to get his stuff or he came to get his toothbrush. Whatever it was. He was high. He came home to get his toothbrush. You had already packed up all of his things when he called you at 10 o'clock, you said, and put his stuff on the porch.
The next day, Your Honor. The next night.
What happened when he came home at 3 o'clock?
When he came home at 3 o'clock on Saturday night, he was just all wired and telling me not to be sorry, and he went in the bathroom and cleared all his personal items out, told me he was getting some of his clothes and he'd be back Sunday to get the rest of his stuff.
Fine. And then what did you do?
I just went back to sleep, and then Sunday, Augusta came over crying at 12 o'clock, begging me to take him back.
He did?
The girl that he moved in with.
Planning to move in with.
So you didn't move in with her?
No, I planned to move.
What happened with Augusta?
Well, when I told her that I was planning to move, and then I went back to get my toothbrush or bathroom belongings, like she said, she had my things on the porch.
What happened with the other girl?
So when I went to get to the property, she called the cops. The cops came. They said, you can't do that to him. He has tenants' rights. You have to go through the eviction process.
So you have to
they
go
told me
the
for
process.
the night. They told me for the night, see if you can go somewhere, let the heat cool down. All right, no problem. I go to Augusta's house. And she followed.
Just a second. When you went to Augusta's house, were you high?
No.
When did you get high?
Probably the night before, because I was there maybe 2 nights.
Go ahead.
And then they told me to go somewhere for the night. I said, all right, I think I'm going to go to the lady that offered me the place. So I go to Augusta's, hey, look, this lady's causing me some drama over there. Can I spend the night over here? She followed me to that house after she wrote on the police report that she was terrified for her life. Even the police officer told me himself, hey, if she's so scared, why she followed you? Lies, more lies than false, whatever she did. So when she showed up at Augusta's house, she said, this lady's over here causing you problems, stirring up trouble. I can't deal with this. So I went back to her property, spend the night, no problem. Morning came.
Even though the police told you not to go?
Yeah, they told me if that doesn't work out, though, you have no choice. Come back, no problem.
They didn't tell that to you at all?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Edgar Felicia says his former landlord, Karen Cass, owes for falsely charging him with assault and battery. Karen claims Edgar broke into her home and attacked her.
Police don't say that.
No, they know because...
Police don't say that. They say you better let things cool off for a night and come back tomorrow.
That's true, but if you don't have no other place to go...
They didn't say that to you.
Well, due respect, I was there.
No, I'm telling you. I've been around a block longer than you've been born. The police never told you should come back if it didn't work out with Augusta.
They told me to find somewhere else to stay for the night.
That's right. That's what they told you.
And if that didn't go well, to come back, okay, no problem.
Oh.
So I come back, and I sleep. I'm just telling you what they told me. I mean, you know what I mean? So I go to sleep, and I wake up the next morning late to work. I got fired because there's drama with her. I go to Publix to get me a little Aunt Jemima breakfast. And right when I'm coming into the trailer to open the door, she had it with the chain. Boom. That's when I started recording, which I have here the recording what she's talking about that I came in the house. And the whole recording shows I didn't even get through that door.
How did you record that?
On my camera phone. I had a camcorder on my phone. I said that was the only option I had. I had no witnesses around me. I already seen where this was going to go.
So why did you go back there?
What, that morning?
Yeah.
Because that's where I lived. That's where I lived. They told me, if you can't find nowhere to go, just go back. And when I went to work, I came home. She had all this locked up in the house.
So what did you do?
So then I just started recording. And she's on the phone talking to her boyfriend. Turns out her boyfriend called the cops. The cops come. When the cops come, they tell her, so what happened? She's saying, oh, I was banging in the door, whatever. And I've seen my mom get beat for 15 years, and I'd be darned I would put my hands on a woman. Sure, I have drug drug-related cases in my past, but I have never had anything violent. I mean, I weigh 150 pounds soaking wet. I'm not a threat to nobody, you know? And for her to accuse me of something that I did not do, and my dad had to send me bail money from New York. I spent my birthday in jail. I lost my job, and to add...
You mean, do you think that none of that had to do with the fact that you were using cocaine?
Nah, because that was like 2 days before.
Listen to me. If you used cocaine 2 days before, you used it 2 days before that, and 2 days before that.
Nah.
So you just used it once in anticipation of your birthday? Is that what you're telling me?
It was a get-together at her friend's house, so, I mean, they had it there, and it was just a little social, so we did it. So then later on, when I went back to the house, that's when she had
How
all my
many
stuff
times
back.
have you been arrested for possession of drugs? I don't want to say.
I believe twice.
Background check.
99 and 04.
Could it have been more than twice?
Not that I remember. Shouldn't be.
Well, you would know how many times you were arrested for drugs.
Twice. 99 and 04.
Now I'll take a look at the rap sheet.
7 times. Thank you.
Well, here's the 99 possession. They stop you on traffic violations, right?
Like tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple tickets.
Charge 1 was a non-moving traffic violation, but charge 2 was cocaine possession on the same date. That was 2004.
Yeah, that was, a matter of fact, Christmas Eve, I believe.
Right. You had an arrest in 2005.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what's
Pled
it
guilty?
for? And as you're looking at the report, I know you don't see anything violent in there.
Nothing violent. I see a trespass only.
Right. So, that's not, you know, it's out of my character. Besides the fact I seen my mom get beat all my life, so.
I'd like to see your film. And then I'd like to see your complaint. The complaint that you lodged against him.
Oh, yeah, I have it right here, man.
That's the porch there. This is the morning I'm coming back from Publix. Boom, there's a chain.
What are you doing? I can come in the house. I have keys to the house. Don't start when into the microwave.
You're not allowed in the house. I told you you're only staying on the porch.
No, how about you use the bathroom, lady?
You're not.
Take a shower, lady.
You're not supposed to be in the bathroom. They said
I'm not supposed to be in the bathroom?
on the porch, Edgar.
That's last night for you guys.
Yes, out of my face.
I can't just stay on the porch. I got keys to the trailer, lady. You can't just put a chain on it and me not take a shower.
You're not allowed in this
Well, then you gotta put something in there for me to cook it and blanket myself in bath. No, whatever. I just went. Bro, that was just for last night.
Oh, and did they tell you just for last night?
Yes, I asked her, because I told her, look at the chain she put. Now, what am I supposed to do? She goes, well, just go outside of anything for tonight, but tomorrow's okay. They never said I'm supposed to be in the house, you dimwit. They never said you're supposed to be in the house. I can come in the house and use the utilities, I'm supposed to. Then why am I paying you rent for? You know what I mean? Do you want me to call so I can use the microwave over here? I'll call him, don't worry about it, I got the number.
There's only part of the tape. He did get in the house.
How did he get in the house?
He broke the chain. It's on the police report, Your Honor.
You did swear under oath, right? Yeah.
I hit speed dial on my boyfriend's phone because I was hysterical, and my boyfriend called the cops. It's a very small town. The next thing I knew, there were 4 cops. What he's not telling you is the night before, he had pushed me and tore the phone out of the wall, which he admits in the deposition and in the police report.
Can I see the police report,
ma'am.
please?
There were 2 incidences before that.
No, let me see the police report. Would you please, I must be missing it, would you give this back to Ms. Cass? Would you please show me where he admits that he pulled the phone out of the wall?
Yeah, it's in the...
Just show me, you say that in the police report he admitted that he tore the phone out of the wall. Show me in the police report where he admits tearing the phone out of the wall. That would be a violent act, would it not, Mr. Felice? Ripping the phone out of the wall would be a violent act.
Yes, ripping the phone off the wall.
Okay, and you...
But unplugging a charger would not. There was no ripping. Unplugged.
Shh. Well, whether you pulled the phone out of the wall, sir, or you pulled the charger out of the wall so that she could not get to the police is irrelevant. Either way, your purpose was to prevent her from calling the police.
My purpose? Well, they came over that night.
Your purpose was to prevent her from calling the police. Otherwise, would you kindly tell me what was the reason that you pulled the charger out of the wall? Were you trying to Made pancakes?
No, I was trying to give her a second to think about what she was doing.
You were trying to prevent her from calling the police.
To make a false report, yes. Because everything she did after that was false. She said I tried to kick in the door. She said I cornered it in the room. I mean...
It's over. You're not going to win the lottery here.
Nah.
It's finished.
I'm not looking for the lottery.
It's finished. First of all, you are not allowed to rent the porch on your trailer. It is an illegal thing that you're doing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that? And you can't take money from him and then decide that he's too much trouble. Too much trouble right in the middle of his month. Because he paid you by the month or by the week?
He paid me by the week, and he was advertised as a roommate.
If he's a roommate, then he has kitchen privileges.
Correct, but that night the police said to stay out of the house until I went to the state's attorney's office the next day, which I got.
No, they gave him a cooling off night. That's what they do. They give him a cooling off night. The police do not have the power to evict him. They have the power to say to somebody when they get a call of alleged domestic violence, look, I don't see anything terrible going on here. Go take a walk. Cool off tonight. Things will look better in the morning. That's what the police will do. You do not have the right, after taking money from him, to lock him out. When you say he's a roommate, you didn't even...
Ma'am, there's no locks on the door. He was never locked out.
Well, he was locked out because there was a chain on the door.
That's my house, but they told me until we go to the state's attorney's office in the morning, I have an injunction, a restraining order. They said till I go to the state's attorney's office at 9 in the morning, he's not allowed.
Are you telling me that you got a restraining order between the time he left the night before and the time he came back in the morning? Of course not. You didn't. It's over. Move on with it. You did, in fact, commit a violent act. You prevented her from calling the police, which is what she wanted to do because she felt threatened. And you prevented her from calling the police by pulling her phone charger. Evidently, she doesn't have a phone that actually plugs in. She uses a portable phone that's charged into the wall. It's over. Forget about it. Finished. Both of you. Now that it's in my hands, you've filed a civil case. You had a lawyer. You had a lawyer. You all both spent all kinds of money. Finished. It's over. Forget it.
That's what I've been... I mean, this has been a year and something.
It's been a year. Your case is dismissed.
It's
been a year.
$4,000 in attorney fees.
I don't care. It's over. Finished. You both behaved inappropriately. He did and you did, because there was probably a little bit of what he said that was true. That you wanted him out, that you exaggerated a little bit once it became testy. There's no question in my mind, Ms. Cass, that that's what you did. But he provoked it. He can't come home high on cocaine. He doesn't even know what he's doing if he's high on cocaine. Do you understand, sir? Goodbye.
I wasn't high when I came home.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Holderbaum, Mr. Gutierrez is the cousin of your ex-husband.
Yes, ma'am.
And at some point, I don't know whether you were still married to your husband at the time. I assume you were. Is that right?
Yes, I was.
You co-signed a car loan, a lease, for Mr. Gutierrez.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And then something happened. You took the car back. And it ended up costing you a bundle for the lease. You want Mr. Gutierrez to be responsible. Mr. Gutierrez says, because of the way this all came down, it's your problem. When were you and your husband divorced?
Our divorce...
Or separated?
We separated in February of 06.
And when did you co-sign this car lease for Mr. Gutierrez?
September of 04.
Why didn't your husband co-sign for him? It's his cousin.
My husband told me it wasn't a good idea. I basically looked at it as he was a young man, a hard worker.
Your husband, who was his cousin, known him his whole life, said to you, "Don't do it, Shelley. It's not a good idea." And you want to know something? I would have told you the same thing.
I know, Your Honor.
Okay. So you co-signed this car lease for him. What kind of car did he lease?
Ford Expedition.
What did he need a Ford Expedition for?
For him and his family.
How large is your family?
I have my wife and one son.
You could drive a smart car with your wife and one son. What'd you need a Ford Expedition for?
Well, first of all, when they came out, I would like to have a Ford Expedition.
I would like to be 5'6". It didn't happen to me.
The thing is, sometimes I take my trucks to work, and I need more seats because I got like sometimes 3 to 4 helpers.
What happened to the truck that she co-signed for you?
Well, I had an accident.
Tell me about the accident.
Well, in Detroit, Michigan, where we live, it snows.
Just tell me it was in the snow.
Yeah, it was snow.
What did you hit?
I hit a post on the sidewalk.
A post?
Yeah.
Post wasn't moving, right?
No.
So what happened to the car?
It didn't start back. So I called Shelly and told her what happened that day. And she just told me, I got to call the police to make the report. So she was going to call the insurance and she will call me back.
What happened, Shelly?
Well, he hit a light pole, you know, no fault. He called me. I told him, as long as you're not hurt, nobody's not hurt, that's great. Even though I co-signed, I carried the insurance on the vehicle because I was afraid. If he didn't make a payment, I would find out about that in 30 days. If he didn't pay the insurance when something like this happened,
gotcha,
I would have been up.
Gotcha, Shelly.
So what happened was, it went to the body shop. They towed it directly to the body shop to the tune of $9,000 worth of damage, which wasn't even the problem, Your Honor. I had no problem. That's why they call them accidents. But while the vehicle was in the body shop, I received a certified letter from the DEA stating that Mr. Gutierrez was stopped in St. Louis, Missouri on January 19th with $309,900 in the vehicle. That's why he couldn't have the truck back.
So they were telling you that they were seizing the car?
No, they had given the vehicle back to him on site. They seized the money. They gave the vehicle back and released him.
What was $309,900 doing in your Ford Expedition?
I don't know.
Hidden in panels. It was just not in a duffel bag, Your Honor. It was hidden in compartments in the vehicle. So they basically ripped the truck apart, the whole interior, like plastic parts in the thing. The front console was ripped apart. Well, when I received that letter, Ford Motor Credit received the same letter.
Just a second. How many cars have you owned in your life? Give me an approximate number.
8.
I can't believe you're so much younger than I am. Probably owned 30 cars in my life. Aside from an occasional quarter that you may find, you know, when you're cleaning out your car. What would you do if you found $309,900 stashed in your car in various compartments? Would you have thought that the Tooth Fairy really existed? Mr. Gutierrez, did you really like this truck? You said you really wanted this truck, right?
Right.
And you used it for your family?
Yes.
And you used it for your work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do? Don't look down.
Carpet
Look at me.
installer.
What?
Carpet installer.
Carpet installer.
Yes.
You do the work yourself?
Well, I have helpers.
That help you?
Yeah.
You go on the jobs with them?
Yes, ma'am.
You go on all the jobs with them?
Yeah.
So I assume if you have helpers, Mr. Gutierrez, you put them in the back of the car. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you drive?
Yes, I drive.
And when you go out with your wife, does she drive?
No, I always drive.
So when do you think someone snuck this $300,000 into your car, Mr. Gutierrez?
Well, I'm not sure, ma'am.
Your Honor, and when he had the accident in February, less than 5 months, he had put 11,690 miles on that truck. And when I had called Mr. Gutierrez, because this was before I even knew about this happening, I called him, I said, you're only allowed at $12,000 a year. What were you going to do about all these miles? Because after $12,000, you're over for the year. He says to me, well, I was going to have somebody roll them back. I almost fell out. I said, you know,
the same person that put the $309,000 in his car.
He said, and I'm like, I'm a police officer. What are you talking about?
You're a police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Still a police officer?
Yes, ma'am. I have an exemplary, never been disciplined record.
Oh, Shelley.
I know, Your Honor.
Shelley.
2.5 years a nightmare I've been living this to help somebody.
He's a nightmare.
I know, Your Honor.
Where did you travel, sir, in the first few months that you had this? Listen to me very carefully. Where did you travel, Mr. Gutierrez, in the first few months that you had this car while you were busy with your wife and your son and installing carpet to put 12,000 miles on it in 4 months?
It was almost 12,000 miles.
Where had you traveled, Mr. Gutierrez?
I went once. I went to El Paso, Texas.
El Paso?
And
from where?
From Detroit, Michigan.
From Detroit, Michigan to El Paso, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
Probably where they stuck all this money in your car.
No, ma'am. And when I use it for work, just to go from my house to the shop where I pick up the material, it's 30 miles.
Detroit to El Paso is how many miles, Mr. Gutierrez?
It's 1,100 miles.
One way?
Yeah, one way.
And how long did you stay in El Paso?
I stayed like for 4 days
Who did you go with?
with my grandma.
With your grandma?
Yeah.
What's her name? It's not an answer when I ask you your grandma's name.
Ramos.
How old is she?
She just turned 80.
What did you take her to El Paso for 1,100 miles in a truck?
She lives in Juarez. It's the border with El Paso, Texas. And I went there to visit my family.
You said you took your grandmother in the truck.
No, I didn't took her.
So you drove there by yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I drive from...
You see stupid written over here, Mr. Gutierrez.
No, ma'am, no.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Somebody was doing something naughty in this vehicle, like transporting drugs in the car. Now, I'm not suggesting that someone would be you, sir. I'm not suggesting that at all.
And later today...
Mr. Courier says, I'm cute. Aside from saying I'm cute, you thought he was cute and nice. Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's just a mooch.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shelley Holderbaum says her ex-husband's cousin, Vicente Gutierrez, crashed a Ford Expedition that was leased in her name. Shelley says the vehicle was eventually seized by the DEA.
How much did it cost you because of the over mileage and because of ripping the car apart?
$1,272.21 for the over mileage. The deductible on his accident was $350. The repair for the broken parts inside the vehicle was $715.50. I also had to pay for the pole he hit in the city because the city waited till after 6 months to bill it. I have that right there.
How much?
So the insurance wouldn't pay that. That was $399.49. I had to make April and May's payment on the vehicle while I was in the body shop.
How much?
$500.35 for each month.
I gave her that payment.
He paid February, Your Honor.
How many payments did you make?
My ex-husband made March, and I made April and May.
You made April and May?
Yes,
What
ma'am.
payment did you make?
The last payment was February, and I paid
She
her...
paid March and April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And May.
And I paid her for the pole that I hit, and I paid her all of the 2 deductibles for the insurance.
You paid those. Do you have checks for that?
No.
Did he pay you for
do.
that?
I have my checks.
No, did
for
he
those.
pay you
No,
back
he
for
didn't,
that?
Your Honor.
Maximum in your state is $3,000. Is that right?
ma'am.
Because this comes to $3,271. Mr. Gutierrez, either you're the luckiest or the unluckiest person on this planet. The luckiest person on the planet would find $300,000 in their car. That would be the luckiest person in the planet. The unluckiest person in the planet would have $300,000 in their car and not be able to get it. So if you think that I believe the story that you're telling me, I don't. Somebody did something nice for you. Somebody who has a career in law enforcement. Somebody who could be humiliated. If somebody was doing something naughty in this vehicle, like transporting drugs in the car, a car that she co-signed for. Now, I'm not suggesting that someone would be you, sir. I'm not suggesting that at all. The fact that I never found more than maybe 75 cents in a car that I've owned would not necessarily be dispositive in this case. But you cost her a bundle. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are these excused when they step out?
I was on my way to El Paso, and the police stopped me.
Well, I kind of feel like I got some justice in this manner
And they found that money in there.
by getting my money back.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Capozola versus Courier. Step forward.
21-year-old Kristen Capozola is suing her former roommate, 22-year-old Joshua Courier, for rent, a broken computer, and the cost of pay-per-view adult movies.
You know, I decided that we could save the judicial system a whole bunch of money and just have much smaller apartments that were cheaper, that people could have themselves so they don't have to have roommates. And we would be able to save as a community fortunes of money because we wouldn't have all these cases. Then I would, however, be out of a job, and my children would be very unhappy. Ms. Capozola, the defendant used to be your roommate. You claim he owes you some money. He owes you money for rent and utility bills, and he damaged your computer, and he downloaded porn on your computer, and it was very messy. Mr. Courier says, I'm cute. Aside from saying I'm cute, He says, well, he sort of ran into some difficulty, and he's going to explain it all to me. This is the girlfriend?
That's a friend.
This is the girlfriend that downloaded the porn on the computer.
Nah.
What do you do, Mr. Courier?
Cell phones.
Cell phones for whom?
T-Mobile.
How long have you been working for them?
Like 2 months.
How much do you make at T-Mobile?
It's hourly, like $8 or $9 an hour.
You take home a paycheck every couple of weeks. How much is your paycheck?
Roughly $8.50.
And who do you live with?
I live by myself.
What is this? I mean, is that a question or is that a statement?
I live by myself.
And how much rent do you pay?
It's $6.50.
You have a car?
No.
Have any other big expenses?
No.
Great. So you would say you're on your feet financially?
Yes.
Great. That's really good. Because one of the things that Miss Capizzola says is that you told her you would pay her back for covering your rent when you got on your feet.
Yes.
She's got to back into it, that's all. You know, you can't get on there right in the front. Right in the front's boring. You got to back into it.
There you go.
Right?
That's right.
All right, Miss Capizzola, when did you start to room with, and it was just a roommate, is that right?
Yes.
Just a roommate. The charming Mr. Courier.
October of 2006, he contacted me looking for a place to stay. I offered mine and my mother's home, with her permission, of course. We lived together there for approximately 3 weeks and then signed a lease in mid-November to move out.
How long had you known him?
About 3 years.
From where?
We met at a party.
You thought he was cute and nice?
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. He's just a mooch. Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Yes, sir. Now, who rented the porn?
My ex-girlfriend.
And did she watch this all by herself?
Yes, I had no recollection that she was watching it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kristen Capizzola says ex-roommate Joshua Courier owes for rent, a broken computer, and for adult movies he ordered and never paid for. Joshua claims it was his ex-girlfriend who ordered the movies.
So, you moved into this place in
November.
Both of you signed the lease?
Yes, we did.
Now, he paid his rent for a while, and then according to him, he hit some hard times.
The rent was never paid to begin with. The first month we were there, he mysteriously lost a money order, and I was forced to pay the entire month of that rent.
How much was that?
That was $320. But the next 2 months went well. He did pay rent on time.
Great. Well, that's what he says pretty much. Until April of 2007.
Correct.
What happened in April 2007?
My check bounced. She called me and told me that it bounced when I was at work and that we need to figure out how we were going to pay it. And so showed up at the leasing office. We tried to figure it out. I don't know, like a week went by. She called me and told me...
Get over, please. You know I'm getting older by the second.
Okay, she...
Did she cover your rent?
In April?
Yeah.
No.
You paid it?
No.
Who paid it?
Nobody.
How could you not pay rent? Did you pay the rent?
Yes, I did.
Of course she did. You mean the landlord says you're such a nice guy, I'm going to let you just breeze over? No. How much rent did you cover for him?
For March and April, I covered $960. Total, I covered $1,600 and six.
Now, according to you, you don't really deny this in your answer. You said, I always paid my rent until April when I was having money issues. Kristen told me not to worry. She told me just to get back on my feet.
Yes.
Well, you're back on your feet, right?
Yes.
So you got to pay her the rent.
I don't feel like I owe her the money because she told me not to worry about it. She said, sign yourself off the lease and then move out by the 1st. And I got the rest. And she was there.
1st of what?
The 1st of May.
1st of May?
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about March and April.
When I paid March rent, my check bounced. In April,
well, I understand that.
And then April, I had like a couple days until rent was due, and that's when the check bounced. That's when she called me and said the check bounced.
We're talking about rent for half the month when you first moved in, when you didn't have it, and for 2 months.
Yeah.
March and April. And you moved out in May. Is that right?
Yes.
That's all I'm talking about. Do you have proof that you paid that rent?
No.
And are you back on your feet?
Yes.
Perfect. Cute, but no cigar. What else do you want from him?
I would like half of the Comcast bill that I paid for 5 months. The agreement was we wanted cable, we wanted internet, we wanted phone, so...
You should have turned it off. You should have turned it off. If he wasn't paying it and he was not being terribly responsible with money, then you should have turned it off. You don't need cable.
Right.
Hum.
I would at least like to be reimbursed for the porn that was rented on our cable bill.
Yes, sir. Now, who rented the porn?
My ex-girlfriend.
And your ex-girlfriend was your visitor?
Yes.
And did she watch this all by herself?
Yes, I had no recollection that she was watching it. I didn't
How
know.
do you know it was her?
She told me. But she told me she paid it, so I didn't.
How much was the porn?
$81.90.
$1,681. Your guest? Your worries. What else?
My computer that is no longer in commission. I had to purchase a new computer. My computer is basically totaled. My mom was there when it happened.
Well, what happened?
Him and one of his friends were downloading music, and the blue screen of death came on, and the computer never worked again.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Now, did he have your permission to do that?
He had my permission to be on the computer, yes. But I had no idea that viruses were being downloaded. And the second it happened, he told me, and he's like, I'll help you pay for half of it.
What happened, sir?
Actually, the night, I guess it crashed, I wasn't even there. I came home, like, afterwards, and her mom and my friend was there, and they were watching TV. And they said the computer did not work. And I said, okay, what happened? And they said it just crashed. And I said, okay. And then she was like blaming my friend. And then I was like, you know, that's not right. She downloaded music on it too, so it doesn't matter.
And that's why I was only suing for half.
Did you?
Yes.
Forget it. All right, you all for the rent and you all for your girlfriend's porn. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,681. Thank you.
Parties are excused. Matter of Davis versus Booth. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Davis, you and the defendant have a child together.
That's correct.
How old is the child?
He is 2.
2?
Yes.
According to your complaint, the defendant filed false charges against you of assault, resulting in your having to pay legal fees and bail money.
That's correct.
You want to be compensated for that. The defendant says that the charges were true. She is counterclaiming for some assault and some property damage, which I will get to in a moment. When did the two of you separate?
July 2001.
And who took the child at that time?
I did.
Were you involved in a custody dispute after July of 2001?
I went to the courts and got some papers drawn up. Actually went to a paralegal, one of my mom's friends.
Just tell me, was there a custody case in the courts?
Yes.
And who has primary custody of the child?
Me right now.
Do you have a copy of that order?
There's mediation papers in there as well.
We both have custody. I know that everything is joint right now. I have a paper here that says that we have joint.
Okay, you're right. So the child is being shifted back and forth on a weekly basis. Part of the week you have the child, and part of the week you have the child. And I assume that this incident happened on October 16th during one of those periods of exchange.
Well, right now is a stipulation. The courts were saying until she can get on her feet and actually have her own place of stay, then we can start doing that arrangement. But right now we do Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we haven't really made that concrete yet, Your Honor.
Okay. October 16th is when this incident happened?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened, sir.
Well, I called her on a cell phone to let her know that our child was not going to be ready to be dropped off at 4 o'clock, like we arranged. She never got that message. I checked my messages at home around 4:20. She said, where are you at? I'm waiting here 20 minutes. I called her back and told her, hey, I'm running late. Jacob's just waking up. I don't want to rush him. He gets cranky. She started persisting to scream at me, telling me this is not right. This is my time with my son, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'll be there as soon as possible. Cut up some food for him, got him a drink, drove him down to Penadobe Park where we meet. She walked right over to my mom's truck, took him right out of the car, didn't say a word to me. By this time, my son's face was really sad. I went over to tell him goodbye. At that time, she persisted on yelling and screaming at me, telling me I was a bad dad and how I shouldn't have been late. And I told her this is the same reason why we broke up, so we wouldn't have to fight in front of our son. She started screaming. I said, no, I'm going to take my son out of here because you're not in a good state. When I started to grab him out of the car seat, she grabbed my arm, and I told her to back off me and just to calm down. I'm going to take him home, and we'll decide on another day.
So what happened? She grabbed your arm?
She grabbed me, and I shrugged her off pretty much. She fell onto the ground, hit her butt, and hit her left elbow. The police report said she had a 1-inch scratch. I actually persisted to help her up. I told her, let me help you up. She said, no. I went into the truck and sat down. She came back around in her truck, got out of her truck with my son watching, and started flailing at me.
What does that mean?
She was, through the truck, she was pretty much trying to hit me. It hit my glasses, stuff like that, and I sat there and thought about what really happened. I drove home and I called and said, you know what, I want my son. A couple more phone calls, the cops were on the phone. telling me that Mary was in a bad state of mind and can you come up to Vacaville and pick up my son. So when I went up there, the cop came out, told me, do you know your rights? I'm going to put you under arrest. And that's when they served me with the temporary restraining order.
What happened with that case?
I have papers showing that the DA has dropped the charges and there was not enough evidence to prove the case. Their police report is stapled to it as well.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
Okay, on October 16th, we did agree to meet at Pina Adobe at 4 o'clock. It was about 4:30, and I called on the cell phone. I called his mother's house, and I called his house and left a thing on the answering machine. And finally, about 4:30, he called me back, and he said that my son was still sleeping. He said that if I wanted to wait until my son was going to be awake, that I could wait at the park until Evan and my son was ready.
Let me stop you there for a moment.
Okay.
Had you had this exchange before at the park?
Yes.
Approximately how many times?
It's been about 2 months.
And have the exchanges always taken place at the same time, 4 o'clock?
Yes, but there's been other incidences when sometimes he won't show up, sometimes he'll show up late.
But for 2 months they had gone on reasonably well.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, now continue.
I obviously got upset because my time with my son is at 4 o'clock. You know, he has made it very difficult for me to even see my son since I had left the residence. He said, you know, I'll show up whenever I show up.
What time did he arrive?
He finally showed up about a little after 5.
Go ahead.
So once he showed up, he arrived in his mother's car, and I opened the door, and I got my son out of the car.
Did you say anything to each other at the time that you opened the door?
I let him know that I was very upset.
That's not what I asked you. What did you say?
I cannot do this. You need to show up on time. If we have a set agreement, you need to show up on time. And I carried him over to my car, and I was buckling him into the car seat. We were arguing back and forth still.
Why would you argue with him?
I was upset because he was late.
And you have a conversation with him outside the earshot of his child.
Right.
Not right. You didn't do that. You were yelling and screaming and agitated.
Yes.
And you couldn't control yourself, even in front of your child.
Yes.
Well, that's wrong.
I know.
So you can understand why he would say, I don't think you should have him because you're not in control of yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So he came around from behind you and he tried to take the child out of the car?
No, he didn't.
What did he say?
He was yelling at me. He was saying that you're not going to have your son. You're not going to see your son ever again. I'm going to take custody of Jacob. And during this time, I was buckling my son into the car, and he grabbed my arm right here and swung me around to where I landed way behind my truck, and I landed directly on my back to where it knocked the wind out of me. I was like, you're not going to take my son, you just threw me on the ground. He ran over to my side of the car and he tried to pull the keys out of the ignition. I was able to get the car started and I took off.
And then you went home?
Yes. I called the police as soon as I got home.
Why?
Because I was assaulted. Evan has abused me for the past 3 years that I was with him, and I'm not going to let him do this to me anymore. For him to throw me on the ground in front of my son, I can't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Evan Davis says ex-girlfriend Mary Booth had him falsely arrested for assault after a custody exchange of their child. Mary says her allegations are true.
You both behaved very badly that day.
I understand.
You both behaved very badly that day.
But I don't feel that if anybody's behavior does not mean that anybody should be threatened physically.
Well, one gets from your scenario, Miss Booth, that he did not punch you, right?
No.
He didn't grab you by both shoulders and throw you to the ground, is that correct?
Correct.
What he did was he tried to get you away from the baby so that he... What he did was try to get you away from the baby. And he pulled your arm, swung you around, and you fell. He didn't put his hands on your chest and fling you to the ground, right?
Well...
Am I right?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, let me tell you something. I think that you both behaved badly that day. You initially out of control. And you may have been out of control because you don't have custody of your child, because you were angry, because you're involved in, this ongoing open-ended order of the family court. You're both recovering from drug abuse, is that right? Well, that's what it says in here. That's what it says in here.
Yeah.
It says that you were clean for a month at the time of the mediation. He was clean for 5 months. Tell me, did I read that?
No.
That's what it says in mediation papers, Your Honor.
That's what it says in the mediation papers. What do you mean, no? That's what it says. I'm going to read it again. Maybe I misread it.
Evan has not been clean.
Just a second. Mother acknowledges past drug use by both parents and states she has been clean for about 1 month.
Yes. I know
That's just
that,
what I said.
Well, I know
You
that
acknowledge-
he still uses drugs at that time.
I said, first I'm talking to you. I said you. I said both of you are recovering from drug abuse. And you said no.
Yes, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
You didn't understand? You didn't understand what I said? Yes doesn't mean no. Father says that he also was using drugs, but he had been clean for 4 to 5 months at the time of this mediation. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. I assume somebody did a hair follicle test on both of you, did they?
No.
No.
That's a big mistake.
Should have.
Huh?
They should have.
Yeah, they sure should have. Anyway, you're out of control, Miss Booth. How much was your bail?
$1,500. I have receipts.
And aside from the bail, how much did you pay a lawyer?
I didn't pay a lawyer or anything. I paid a paralegal to do some of my work for me.
I thought you said the paralegal was a friend of yours.
Well, she still charges.
You have a bill?
No, I do not. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Can I hand you guys? Well, that wasn't my case. I was basically for the bail and for the mental anguish and for the 7-day restraining order.
Well, the 7-day restraining order was not as a result of any factual finding, only because she went in there and asked for one. What?
Your Honor, he violated his restraining order. He called me 5 times within that time of the restraining order, saying that he wanted to come pick up his son and that I would never see his son again. And he basically made threats saying that he was...
So what happened with that case?
They filed something saying that he violated the restraining order. I have it right here.
No, that you say he violated the restraining order. Shouldn't have been a restraining order to begin with. Restraining order was issued ex parte, which means you just asked for it, they gave it to you, but at the time it came to court, they dropped it because they weren't going to give you one for a year. You only had a restraining order for a week, is that right?
Yeah, that's all I asked for.
That's not all you asked for. You would have liked one permanently.
Well, I wanted to get one permanently, but I felt like if I did, that it would interrupt with me seeing, with the exchange of my son, and I didn't want to do that.
Because the child was going back to his father.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't want to have it, interrupt with that.
I got it.
Okay.
You called the police with regard to this alleged violation of the order, which says no contact for 7 days. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You called the police came over and they listened to the recording, the one recording that you had. Is that right?
Yes.
The one recording that you had. And the one recording that you had, according to the police, was as follows. Victim Booth's cellular phone voicemail was played for me. The voice on the call sounded like Subject Davis's voice, and the subject of the conversation was to confirm the exchange of the child on 10/23/01. No threats, just to confirm the exchange. Booth was adamant she wanted to file a report about this violation of the order.
He had called me.
Subject Davis arrived at the location and listened to the voice message. Davis denied making the call. He said it was his brother. This may have been true, according to the police, because as the voice ended, the message was, leave a message with Evan, which is you.
Yes.
So you wouldn't say leave a message with me. You would say leave a message on my mail. You would.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Listen, I am now going to turn to the counterclaim for a minute, and then I'm going to make a decision. Your counterclaim says, Ms. Booth, among other things, that in March, that was before you finally separated, that the plaintiff assaulted you.
Yes.
And he broke your glasses.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you went back to living with him for 5 months.
Yes, I did.
So forget it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I have, no family. I have no family. I have nowhere to go.
Ms. Booth,
I didn't want to leave my son.
You made a baby together. If you're smart, you will put all of the anger and hostility and everything else behind you and decide that you are going to make these exchanges comfortable, that a 2-year-old doesn't always act on your schedule, and if he's sleeping, he's sleeping. Why should you wake him up? That's what a reasonable person does. Not act like a baby and get all bent out of shape because you're missing a half hour or an hour worth of time with the child, especially when it's been going reasonably. Better put behind, both of you, put behind any animus, any hard feeling that you have and everything else, and just decide that you are now bound to each other for the next 20 years and learn to live with it. Otherwise, you're going to have these skirmishes all the time. So we've just done away with this alleged March assault because then you all got together again and lived happily ever after for 5 months. Then you say in July he ultimately threw you out. And when he threw you out, he broke some precious Moments figures and an antique piece of furniture. So you want to tell me what happened in July?
On July 7th, Evan and I had gotten into a very big fight. He had threatened to kill me, and the next day I decided that I was going to go stay at a friend's house for a couple of days. I came back 2 days later to get some belongings, and my whole wardrobe was in the car, locked, and the doors, the locks were changed. So I broke into the house, and I got some of my belongings, and I noticed that almost all of my furniture was gone, and I went into the garage. All of my furniture was laying out all over the garage. This piece of furniture, which was given to me by my great-grandparents. On top is the before picture, and the rest are the after. When I went out there, there was my precious Moments sitting on top. There was 3 of them sitting on top of the cabinet with the heads torn off of them.
Tell me what happened with this piece of furniture when you moved it out. Does it look as if you moved it very carefully?
I did move it very carefully. All the stuff was moved out of the garage, so I don't know if it got broke at that time when they moved it, or if one of her friends moved it on accident and didn't tell her it broke. Because I wasn't there. My mom was there, but she couldn't.
So what you're telling me is when you moved this piece into the garage, it was in good condition?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, actually there was a leg missing from the prior because there never was a leg on there. And there were some marks on the front that was scratched up from my son chipping it off. And the locks were actually missing too because my son took them off.
What about these little figurines?
I told her at the time of the date I broke her figurine. I dropped it in the bag and it broke. And I only broke one.
How many figurines were broken?
Just one broke.
How much did you pay for these figurines?
They were gifts, and they were $50 I got on the internet.
How many figurines do you claim were broken?
3.
Did he tell you that he broke one?
No, he didn't say one. He said that he broke them. He said, I said, you ripped the heads off of these things. And he said, yes, I ripped the heads off.
Okay. Well, that's what they're asking for these things, $50. That's not what they sell for.
I don't know how much they are.
So now let me tell you how I'm going to resolve this case. You've already gotten your lecture on trying to be good young parents in a situation where you're going to be exchanging custody and visitation. I don't think that either one of you wants your child to suffer.
No.
Your behavior on that day made your child suffer. He was 2 years old, and you frightened him because you were out of control. It wasn't as if he didn't show up at all. He showed up an hour late. You had a conversation with him a half hour before and said he was going to be a little late. Just hang in there. So you had no reason to lose it, which you did. And if she lost it, and if you were concerned that she lost it, you don't feed into that. You let it take the child. Next day, you go into court. Say, listen, I want to set up a supervised visitation until she gets herself set. You don't fight in front of the child. Did I say that loud enough?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that? So, it cost you $1,500 for your bail. Is that right?
That's correct.
She's going to pay $750 because I think that she was at least half responsible for what went on that day.
Okay.
And I don't know how much these figurines are worth, but certainly he acknowledges that he broke one, if not 3 of them. So I'm giving you a credit of $100 on your counterclaim. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $650. That's all.
Parzak versus Sanchez. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Frazier, the defendant is your former boyfriend?
Ex, Your Honor.
And is your claim that he threw you out of a home that you shared together and did not return much of your property? In addition to that, you claim an assault and injuries from an assault.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I've looked over your claim with regard to the assault, which I would like to address first. So let's go back. When did you move in together?
It was around about September that we started to share an efficiency.
And it was just the 2 of you there?
Yes.
When was the assault?
This particular assault happened on the 5th of September, and it started over money.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, it was a big fight. He got big and burly, as he usually does, pushed him up against the wall. I defended myself, scratched him on the face. I ended up with a bruise on the arm, a bruise on the leg,
which she can be a witness to. I showed her the very next day.
You didn't receive any medical treatment for this bruise on your arm and leg?
No. I didn't have any medical insurance to go seek.
Let's be honest with each other.
I'm being honest, Your Honor.
Okay. So if you have a black and blue mark on your arm and you have a black and blue mark on your leg, you usually don't go to a doctor for that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I read through your complaint, and it said that some 2 weeks later, more than 2 weeks later, was the date he threw you out of the apartment.
And then there was another fight leading up to that.
Did you go back to the home after September 5th?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
You showed your daughter the bruise, and then you went home, and you cohabited together. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
On the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, etc., all until the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume by that time the scratch on his face had faded and your bruise had faded. Is that right?
I still have a reminiscence of the one on my leg, Your Honor.
Did you talk about the assault when you moved back into the house?
No.
He didn't say he was sorry. You didn't say you were sorry. No discussion about it at all?
Nope.
So then let's go past the assault. And let's go to September the 20th. What happened on September the 20th?
I came home from work. He came home high, drunk, and started a fight. He asked me to come into the bathroom to get high with him. I refused. I refused 3 times. He got loud. He started pushing me around. The drugs he had at the time he threw into a drawer. There was somebody who was sharing the place, sleeping on the floor at the time. When he got into the fight with me, the person told him to leave me alone. It wasn't worth going to jail.
கடமை கண்ணியம் கட்டுப்பாட்டை கற்றுத் தருபவரும் சிறந்த நிர்வாக ஆளுமைக்கான தமிழக அரசால் விருது பெற்றவரும் உலக வரலாற்றையே உள்ளத்தில் வைத்திருப்பவரும் காட்சிக்கு எளியவராய் கடும் சொல் அல்லாதவராய் வீறு நடை போட்டுக் கொண்டிருக்கும் நம் கல்லூரியின் முதல்வர் முனைவர் கோ கண்ணனையா அவர்களுக்கு எனது முத்தான முதற்கண் வணக்கத்தினை உரித்தாக்கிக் கொள்கிறேன். சங்க இலக்கிய சாற்றை இதமாய் எடுத்து மாணவர்களுக்கு பதமாய் ஊட்டுபவரும் அன்பின் உருவாய் ஆற்றல் களமாய் இன்சொல் வளமாய் ஈகை திறமாய் கலைநயத்தோடு கல்வியை போதிக்கும் நம் தமிழ் துறையின் தலைவர் முனைவர் இரா சங்கரையா அவர்களுக்கு எனது பணிவான வணக்கத்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அழகாகவும் இனிமையாகவும் இன்பமாகவும் கனிவாகவும் வகையறிந்தும் வரவேற்புரை நிகழ்த்திய புன்னகை மன்னன் முனைவர் ஆ கௌரனையா அவர்களுக்கும் எனது பணிவான வணக்கத்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இனிமை பேச்சு எவரையும் ஈர்க்கும். அத்தகைய பேச்சாற்றலால் தனக்கென தனியிடம் பிடித்தவரும் பக்தி சுவை நனி சொட்ட சொட்ட பாடும் பேராற்றல் மிக்கவரும் கனிவான குரலில் கருத்துக்களை வாழ்த்துறையாக வழங்கியவருமான முனைவர் சி கணேசன் ஐயா அவர்களுக்கும் எனது பணிவான வணக்கத்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். குன்றத்திலே இருப்பவர் நம் குமரர், நம் தமிழ் மன்றத்திலே இருப்பவர் சரவணன் ஐயா அவர்கள். கனப்பொழுதில் கவிதை வடித்து காண்போரை வியக்க வைக்கும் பேராற்றல் மிக்க பெரியோன் சரவணி சரவணன் ஐயா அவர்களுக்கும் எனது வணக்கம். உதவும் மனம் கொண்டவரும் ஊக்கம் தளராதவரும் சூரியனை போல் பிரகாசிப்பவருமான அறிவொளி கொடுத்து மாணவர்களுக்கு வாழ்வொளி ஏற்றுபவருமான முனைவர் கு சிவபிரகாசம் ஐயா அவர்களுக்கும் அன்பில் தூய்மையும் அடக்கத்தில் எளிமையும் பதவியில் பணிவும் தமிழில் மட்டுமல்லாது கணினியிலும் வல்லுநருமான பார்ப்போற்றும் படைப்புகள் பல படைத்தவரும் படைப்பியலின் அழகியலை சிறப்பாக எடுத்துரைக்கும் புலமை மிக்கவருமான முனைவர் செம்மூதாய் சு சதாசிவம் ஐயா அவர்களுக்கும் எனது பணிவான வணக்கத்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். விடியும் என்று விண்ணை நம்பும் நீங்கள் உங்களால் முடியும் என்று முயற்சி செய்துதான் பாருங்களே என்று முயற்சி மெய்வருத்த கூலி தரும் என்பதற்கிணங்க பல வகையான முயற்சிகளை செய்து சாதனைகளை புரிந்து சான்றோர்களாக வீற்றிருக்கும் நம் ஐயா பாலகிருஷ்ணன் ஐயா அவர்களுக்கும் பொதிகை தமிழ் மன்னன் ஐயா அவர்களுக்கும் எனது பணிவான வணக்கத்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இளங்கலையில் இணைந்து கால் நூற்றாண்டையும் கடந்து இன்று வரை என்னோடு நட்பாய் நடைபோட்டுக் கொண்டிருப்பவரும் பட்டங்கள் ஆள்வதும் சட்டங்கள் செய்வதும் பாரினில் பெண்கள் நடத்த வந்தோம் என்பதற்கிணங்க எச்சூழலிலும் தன் ஆளுமையை நிலைநாட்டிக் கொண்டிருக்கும் முனைவர் வா ஜெயசித்ரா அவர்களுக்கும் பகலிலும் நிலவாய் நின்று மாணவ நட்சத்திரங்களை மிளரச் செய்யும் முனைவர் மா சந்திரன் அவர்களுக்கும் வாழ்க்கைக்கு தேவை பணம், நம் தமிழ் துறைக்கு தேவை தனம். ஆம், முதுகலையில் இருந்து கால் நூற்றாண்டையும் கடந்து இன்று வரை நட்பாய் நடைபோட்டுக் கொண்டிருக்கும் முனைவர் மா தனம் அவர்களுக்கும் அன்பை அருவியாய் கொட்டி மாணவர்களை அரவணைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கும் முனைவர் கை பா ராஜேஸ்வரி அவர்களுக்கும் கல்லூரியே கோயிலாக வகுப்பறையே கருவறையாக மாணவர்களுக்கு பிரியமுடன் கல்வியை கற்றுத்தரும் முனைவர் ஆ பிரியா அவர்களுக்கும் சோதனைகளை தாண்டி சாதனை படைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கும் முனைவர் கா சதீஷ்குமார் அவர்களுக்கும் கலைகளின் ராணியாக தமிழ் துறையின் அரசியாக நடைபெற்றுக் கொண்டிருக்கும் இரா கலையரசி அவர்களுக்கும் சிற்பியாய் இருந்து மாணவர்களை சிலையாய் செதுக்கிக் கொண்டிருக்கும் தமிழ் துறையின் செல்ல பிள்ளை முனைவர் கா ராஜேஷ் கண்ணா அவர்களுக்கும் தாம் இருக்கும் இடத்தை அன்போடும் மகிழ்ச்சியோடும் கலகலப்போடும் வைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கும் முனைவர் சு கல்பனா அவர்களுக்கும் விடாமுயற்சி என்ற ஒற்றை நூலால் வெற்றி என்ற பட்டத்தை பறக்க விடலாம் என்பதற்கு ஏற்றாற் போல மாணவர்களை வழிநடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கும் முனைவர் நாம் பிரியங்கா அவர்களுக்கும் தேர்வில் வெற்றி பெற ஞானத்தையும் போரில் வெற்றி பெற வேலையும் தன் பெயராக கொண்டுள்ள முனைவர் ஆ ஞானவேல் அவர்களுக்கும் உயர்வுக்கு வழி உழைப்பே, வியர்வியை அதிகப்படுத்தினால் வெற்றி வந்தடையும் என்ற இலக்கோடு நடைபோட்டுக் கொண்டிருக்கும் முனைவர் தா லட்சுமணன் அவர்களுக்கும்